We apologize for this brief interruption in the show. As many of you likely know, the Higher Standard podcast is officially sponsored by TRANSCEND Company. TRANSCEND has been my longtime provider for both testosterone and peptide therapies, but they offer so much more. Whether you're interested in health, wellness, or longevity, it all begins with you getting your blood work done. A lab draw will help you get the numbers and establish your baseline. You can go to transcendcompany.com/THSP. That's transcendcompany.com/THSP. Or you can click the link in the show notes on any streaming platform and on YouTube. Fill out your information, and one of the representatives will contact you to get your journey started today. Now back to the show. Somber, quiet beginning.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I don't think they're ready for this one. Guns will be blazing.
All right, but before, let's do a little clerical work, shall we?
Let's do it.
Welcome back to the #1 financial literacy podcast in the world. In the world.
Number one.
That's us.
Mm-hmm. Like
You,
USA, taking home the gold.
You mean the beer guy in the back.
Mr. Pew 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 himself.
Sitting next to me, my partner in time, the one and only, the master of calling out shit talking.
The Matt and me?
Yeah, we're going to do it tonight.
Yeah,
we're going to prove that up.
Let's do it. All right.
One and only Saied, Omar.
Thank you, my man. Sitting next to me on my left, my partner in crime, Chris Naghibi. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
And behind the ones and twos, the man, the myth, the legend, DJ Haroon is back with us.
Back with us. I wasn't gone last week.
Oh, he'll be gone next week, though.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks. Not next week, 2 weeks.
Listen, we're always surprised when you're here, okay?
That's true. Same here.
It's so much better when you're here.
Pretty sure I put my notice in like 3 years ago.
You did. So there's been a couple of questions we need to address right out the gate of this show. It's going to be important. We're going to talk a lot of trash on some big names that you've probably seen on social media. It's time.
It's about that time.
It's about that time. But before we do, Haroon and I got together off the live cameras to have a conversation about you.
Oh, God. Here
And
we go.
we have deep concerns about how you manhandle your microphone stand.
What? I'm not holding the mic. What do you mean? This?
You do. Every
this
show,
action?
you get in there and
This
you
action?
start jerking it off a little bit.
I don't.
You do.
A little stroke action.
Haroon, can you help me out here?
A little
It's
stroke
usually around
action.
the 69th minute. It's like
Yeah.
towards the end
Like
of
it's
the
starting to
show.
get a little uncomfortable.
It's just you really fondle the stick.
It's
And it's there's been a lot of like, and I'm trying
This?
to cut this out.
this.
You know,
This.
you do a lot of cupping.
I know.
That's all
Trying
I'm
to-
saying.
It's me just trying to cover your face.
Okay, that's probably valid. All right. So look, I have a small social media presence. I'm not a big person on social media. I like to think that I've got a small following,
Okay.
and I've got a community that engages, and they'll send me links. It happens all the time. Hey, Chris, what do you think about what this person's saying? Every once in a while, you get somebody who's a devout listener to the show going, hey, fact or cap, send it to me. Right? And I've gotten a lot in recent weeks of really unsavory characters saying really stupid shit.
A lot of outlandish
A lot-
behavior.
and look, it's pain. We started the show to try to combat this, but there's a harsh reality we kind of have to face.
Which is?
The crazy, weird stuff that these people are saying. We're going to name some names here. For some reason, because it's so inflammatory, it's so counterculture, it's so just shocking, because you're like, oh my God, is this real? It actually gets them followers.
I know.
And some of these people there's no nice way to put it, these people are fucking clowns, some of them. And yet, they establish this cult-like following of people who buy them. And let me just throw out some things that you're going to see from common scammers before we even get into these names. If someone says, hey, comment the word podcast and I'll message you. Comment the word rich and I'll send you the links.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't do any business with that person.
Yeah, exactly.
Their business is getting you to comment and getting you engaged in their media circus.
Guess what? You are now the lead.
And you are the product.
Yeah, you just became the lead. That's the way to get free leads.
And it's one of the easiest things for people to fake. Hey, I'm somebody, let's just throw out a random name, no particular reference, Ryan Pineda. Okay? And you're saying, hey, DM me the word podcast and I'll send you a link to my podcast course. You don't know if the people saying podcast and that's it, and just saying, this massive list of people who responded, because it looks like he's getting all this engagement and it's all real, that could absolutely be bots.
Yeah.
That's an easy. There are literally websites you can go to and say, "Hey, I want all my content to say podcast in bold."
Right.
And then it looks like all these people are engaging with your content, but is it real? I don't know.
I feel bad. Because a lot of viewers, a lot of listeners, a lot of people that are absorbing this content, they don't know who to trust. They don't know who to turn to. Right. We're gonna name off some names tonight, which we absolutely believe wholeheartedly that we're vouching, saying you cannot trust these people. But what really sucks for them is some people come off really trustworthy, and I'm seeing a new trend going around.
The authenticity trend?
Yeah, it's very. They seem very authentic. They almost, like this first person that we're going to talk about here, they like try to make themselves seem like they're one of the people, right?
Oh, he doesn't do this.
Yeah,
he doesn't do this.
And then no, but just look, by the way he dresses, and
no, he tries to film himself in circumstances where it comes off natural.
Not very flashy.
But the shit that comes out of his mouth is wildly just wrong.
Not very flashy, right? But what I'm seeing a lot lately is, on this so-and-so date, I'll have a free webinar, right? So they get all these people to come for the free webinar because it's free, and maybe they'll get some kind of value, but they know they can churn about 10 to 15 people into like monthly revenue cycle for themselves.
All right, let's get into this, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to teach along the way the red flags, okay?
All right.
So the first one we're going to talk about is the Albert Presidio, right? He is the Mexican Prince of Bel-Air, self-proclaimed.
Yeah, I mean, that's on his Instagram page.
I'm reading his Instagram here.
Yeah.
The CEO chairman of the Mortgage Guys, Inc. and Ambiance Realty. Okay, look, first of all, you being a chairman of a privately held company is not impressive, okay?
Yeah.
You're not chairman of the board of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You're not chairman of the board of PepsiCo. You're not chairman of the board of, I don't know, Starbucks. Okay?
I almost want to like poke fun at this and be like, I'm the chairman of the board of the Higher Standard, and you're the CEO of the Higher Standard.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, that's...
Haroon, you're the president of the Higher Standard?
Yeah. I mean, look, that's it. Tantamount to what it is. I don't know what to say to that. Like, okay, oh, you're the chairman, congratulations. You're not a big-ass company, bro.
Right.
You're not anything large enough for that to be an independent corporate governance role. You're just putting out titles in there because you want to say your ding-ding is bigger than everybody else in the room.
Right.
That's all that is.
I worked at a startup, and at one point in my career, I was like 2 years into my career, and they're like, pick whatever title you want. And I was like, okay, public relation manager. They're like, no, be VP of PR. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But don't worry.
Think bigger.
Don't worry. Captain Tickles isn't satisfied with CEO and chairman. Albert is also the founder of Driven Event, Conquer Escrow, a Ferrari collector, and you can go and click on his link at Driven Academy. Oh, he sells a course through an academy. Who knew?
Shocker.
I'm shocked. Okay, so the red flags in the bio, which frankly are just very visible, and I'm not gonna give anybody airtime tonight. Okay, you're not gonna hear from the douchebags. You want to hear from the douchebags? You can go click on the douchebag's profile on your own time. Oh, Haroon pulled up his LinkedIn because that makes him official.
No, I thought, if we're going to look into these guys, maybe look at their history, see what they posted on LinkedIn, see if they actually, are relevant.
Okay. So so all of his job, so it's entrepreneur, CEO.
I don't want to be this guy,
Yeah.
but if
Glendale Community College education, baby. Woo!
He wrote College Dropout.
I'm not Kanye's College Dropout.
Because he's trying to own a market where people can go, if I made it, you can make it. And people go, oh my God, he's like me. But I mean, it's just one of those things that's incredibly toxic. And then he says stuff. This is the same guy who says, I cut my own hair and listen to podcasts because I don't waste time. And what he does is he uses a classic technique to get in-group, out-group. He refers to everybody who disagrees with him or criticizes him on social media as brokies.
Okay.
Don't be a brokey. Don't have a broke person mentality. Because he cuts his own hair, which is a buzz cut, by the way, and it doesn't look good on him. He looks bad, but whatever. And he has like literally clips where he's talking about how he listens to podcasts because he's constantly learning. He wears his Rolex to the gym because he doesn't have time to go work out, so he's always got to monitor the time. You're not in shape, Chief. Okay. Like, I mean, it's just, look, what's wrong with owning a mortgage company, an escrow company, if these are the things that he does own, and just owning it? Like, why do you have to be the asshole? Like, literally, his own page has a clip titled "Being a Little Bitch."
You should I mean,
working 18 hours a day.
I hope you're not getting your financial advice from somebody like this.
But he's out there doing this every single day with a shock and awe tactic where he's buying into hustle culture. He's selling hustle culture. He's saying, look at my lifestyle, and I can teach you to do this if you buy into my stick. This is so tactless, so just wildly disconnected to what running a big company and what actually running a business is like. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine working for someone like this?
No, absolutely not. But like, yeah, this is a good example of if somebody is trying to sell you on something, like this individual is trying to get you into his academy to sell you a course, and if he's telling you, like Chris mentioned, it creates an in-group, out-group type scenario, right there, I'm out. Yeah. If you're like, it feels like a cult-like following, and I want no part of it, right? Either you provide me good value, right? Like, for instance, we always talk about it, the Mind Pump guys, Mind Pump, right? They provide so much free, real value.
Yeah,
you can see it right immediately. You hear it, and you're like, this is priceless information right here, right?
Yeah.
Listening to shit like this, you're like, this ain't it.
No, it's not it, and it's kind of ridiculous. Let's go to the next one. One of my favorites. Okay, the always awesome, the Grant Cardone. People say, well, Chris, Grant Cardone, according to his public profile, is a private equity fund manager and real estate investor. Okay, let's be clear here. He is not a private equity fund manager. That is bullshit, okay? He is not investing his own money or his client's money. He is a syndicator. He doesn't like that term. Why? It sounds lowbrow. Private equity sounds fancy, cool, and most people have no fucking clue what it means, okay?
Right.
He is not private equity.
Help people understand, what is private equity?
Private equity is basically you got a bunch of money and you're investing your private equity, your private money into other companies to make money. Mm-hmm. It's a version of venture capital. It's a version of he is a real estate syndicator. Okay, he calls himself a real estate investor. Maybe, but you're investing other people's money, and he says $5 billion of assets under management. Okay, again, if you're syndicating, right? Mm-hmm. I'm taking Saied, your money, Haroon's money, and I'm using that to help me get a down payment in conjunction with a loan. Mm-hmm. I am now syndicating that deal because I'm bringing in multiple investors like you guys. That's not private equity.
Right.
I'm investing your money, and I'm using your money as a down payment. Now, I'm taking equity in the deal because I found it, I sourced it, I'm putting it together. So I'm taking equity in the deal. I'm not bringing money in. So are you a real estate investor? No, you are a real estate syndicator who you are syndicating investments in real estate. That's arguably a questionable stance right out the gate from a title. And what it does is it plays on the general public's lack of knowledge of what multifamily assets and investing are like, okay? Mm-hmm. This man is a syndicator. And people go, oh my God, I've invested money with him and I'm going to get all these returns. No, you're not. You're reading a prospectus, a document he put together which talks about the history of multifamily's performance. And I hope you do get something good, and you probably will because multifamily generally performs, but he is yet to exit a fund.
Right. Yeah, exactly. What does that mean? He's yet to exit a fund.
So everything you're getting is passive income, right, after expenses. Right, so he's going to take all the money. So he's going to take this money, right? So he's going to get a group of people together, right? Let's call it 100,000 people together. They're all going to give him a little bit of money. He's going to use that money that he got from them to use as a down payment, and then he's going to finance the rest of the building. And now we own this building. You've invested in this building, right? Vis-a-vis a Cardone Fund 1 or 2 or whatever it might be. Okay,
right.
And now that you have money in the deal, you're going to get your pro rata share of that down payment. So if you put Saied 1/100th of the down payment down because that was your investment,
right,
you're going to get 1/100th of the free cash flow every single month.
Exactly.
Right? That is your return on investment. And it's much lower than he says he's going to get people, because what he's counting on is that property going up in value over time, making more and more money, the property being valued at more, and then selling it and then dispersing your return of your original investment plus whatever your equity appreciation was in the property over time.
In theory, this all sounds really, really nice. And it
sounds great.
And it sounds like he's letting you into like the rich boy club, right? Mm-hmm. That only big players get involved in. But here's where you got your red flags need to go up. First of all, we talked about on the show where he buys the properties themselves and he sells it to the fund at a higher price.
Yep. Documented, known, tons of videos on YouTube on
it doesn't fully get disclosed to the fund that that's what he was doing, right?
Not in a way that's clear and concise. And keep in mind, he is specifically targeting a non-sophisticated investor.
And that was my next point, right? So to your point, a non-sophisticated investor, usually in investments like this, you need to be a qualified investor where your net worth needs to be a certain amount, and they want to do their due diligence to make sure that, yes, you do have as much money and you're not taking on too much risk at once. Your red flag should go up if he's willing to take on investors with, I don't even know. Some of it sounds crazy. I think I've heard some people say that as long as you can invest like $1,000 into his fund or something. You're like,
there were some of the, I don't know that all of his funds are like that. I think some of them are for sure.
Some of them were. I'm not saying all of them were, but yeah. And you're like, that should be a red flag to you. Like, you can't source the funds anywhere else. You got to go, and he spins it to make it seem like I'm trying to help out, the people that no one's really helping out.
And another person is creating an in-group, out-group. I'm going to let you in on the secrets, everybody. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to give you the secret. I'm going to help you create wealth. Let me tell you the real way to create wealth. Don't ever buy a home, buy real estate, rent a home. I rent a home. Okay. At the same time, he buys a giant home in Malibu and shows everybody this giant home in Malibu that he bought. Yeah. And he's the exception to the rule. In-group, out-group, again, right? Why is that narrative convenient for him? Because guess what? If you're in his in-group and you don't buy a home, you want to invest in somebody like him because you can't go out and buy a $5 million multifamily property. Mm-hmm. So you're going to take your $1,000 and invest in a property and say, guess what? I own a piece of multifamily real estate, which you'll see constantly on the internet. You'll see a bunch of these assholes get together and go, how many units do you own? He's like, I own 45. I own 1,245. They own portions of percentage because they're buying into somebody's syndication.
Yes, a fraction of a percent.
Yeah, or in some cases like Cardone, you don't own all those units. You're just arranging the deals, and you have some equity in all of them. But you're telling everybody you have $5 billion of assets under management. Again, fine, you might, but they are not your assets under management.
Exactly, and back to that point of it all sounding nice in theory, right? You can't just exit and take your money out.
And again, another person like our boy Albert, who's going to sell with flashiness, right?
That should be a red flag.
I'm going to sell you with the planes, the cars, and all that other nonsense. You know how this used to work and really still does work for the upper echelon of really talented people? Real wealth, talented people? Here's how it works. They are so goddamn successful, it's verified and undeniable.
Yeah.
They don't have to peacock their plane, their cars. You might see them anecdotally. You might see a picture of them doing something cool somewhere and go, oh my God, that's dope.
Yeah.
But they're not going like, look at me on social media, bro, like the Ambani wedding. Okay?
Yeah.
That dude got married. They had a several months long wedding. His father is one of the richest men in the world and the wealthiest Asian man, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. He wasn't doing selfies at his own wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody else was going to his wedding talking about how amazing it was.
Right.
And that's the difference.
Exactly.
When you really are successful, everyone else is going to talk about your success for you. You don't got a peacock like this with your 4.7 million followers.
I remember the first time I came across the initial red flag that came up for me was when I saw him doing like stage time with celebrities. Mm-hmm. I was like,
you're borrowing clout. You're paying for their clout. You are renting their social prowess to build your own.
If there's anything we've learned over the last couple years is that celebrities will sell out.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. I mean, that guy was as clean, as anybody.
Little thing called FTX, brother.
Little thing called FTX.
Yeah, that Sam Bankman-Fried.
Right?
That went south quickly.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I love me some Snoop D-O-double-G. But he's bringing Snoop Dogg on stage. I'm like, I'm sorry, guy. Like, Snoop Dogg just paying.
Snoop's a cultural icon who's for sale. Okay? That's what he is.
That's just what he is. Like, that you can't borrow his clout.
But you can rent it.
You sure can.
Another one, Cody Sanchez. She comes up a lot. 1.9 million. Oh, Haroon, can pop.
Classic.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while.
We're back, baby.
You feeling good about yourself?
I'm feeling real good.
He likes that tells me he likes this episode.
Okay. Haroon, do you like the episode?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's fire so far. I like the energy. Saied came in with energy today.
He did, and he came off the script. The non-scripted version to you is so much sexier.
You led it the show. There was no script at all.
I know. I just like you unscripted. Haroon, you do too. Don't laugh.
I do.
Yes,
I do.
there you go.
He does.
All right, Cody Sanchez. I look at her as a female equivalent of Alex Hormozi. That's clearly what she's trying to do.
That's the vision she has for herself anyways.
I'm going to be honest. I don't like her face.
I don't. Oh, dude, laughing in the back. Yeah,
I just don't like it.
Yeah, there's definitely some RBF going on there. All right, there's definitely some RBF, but I don't like. Here's my problem with her.
She even does the faux Twitter quotes posted to her feed like Alex Hormozi does. I mean, she's literally mimicking Alex Hormozi.
One day they'll pretend they believed in you the whole time. Okay, this is my problem with her, okay? And I said this to you before the show when I was like, we got to talk about this one too. All right. Some of the things that she says might provide, she'll find a way, she'll squeeze out some value, tell you a story about some entrepreneur or like something about Warren Buffett or some story that you're like, oh, that was a cool story, right? But a lot of times you're going to hear a lot of, she's like one of those people that it posts the motivational quotes, and I talked about this. You and Odun,
I hate it.
You and Odun got on me for that, but that's what she does. I literally came across a video of hers yesterday that said,
but it's bullshit.
That said, have you ever been around somebody that drinks a lot and then you just find yourself drinking more? That's what you like to call the exposure effect. You need to surround yourself with people that make a lot of money.
Which is just ripping off what Alex Hormozi does. This is literally Alex Hormozi with a wig on.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, if you're doing that if that's some of the content that you're creating, like, I'm out, dude. I don't want to.
Success demands solitude. Thank you for your pearl of wisdom. Thank you so much. I don't know what I'd do without that, Cody Sanchez.
I don't like that it's not centered.
Yeah.
It bothers me.
The whole thing's messing with you?
Yeah.
Most people do the bare minimum. Go just one step further, and you're in the top 1%. What the fuck does that even mean?
Stop it, Cody.
That is a useless piece of information that someone's going to go, oh, my God, I saw this post. And you know what pisses me off? Like, it's bad enough that this shit's out there.
Yeah.
When people I know repost it.
Yeah, like, ooh, like bars.
Like, yeah, like, this resonated with me.
Yeah.
I hope this just gets you motivated too. No, you know what it does? It motivates me to unfollow you. That's what this does.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, don't make me the asshole because I got to talk to you. And let's talk about Cody Sanchez for a little bit. I have somebody that I know that went down the whole background. She says she's worked in finance. Okay, you came to the wrong show, lady. If that's what you're gonna do,
because she worked in finance.
Yeah. Look at the resume.
Okay.
Founder, investor. Look at this. Goldman Sachs. How long was she at Goldman Sachs? I can't see it. The camera's in the way.
It says here for
1 year, 7 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How long was she at Vanguard before that?
1 year, 7 months.
Well, how about State Street?
State Street. It says here 2 years, 10 months.
Okay. First Trust, head of Latin America investments.
5 years, 3 months.
Okay. Now you go to Entourage Effect Capital. She did some stuff there. Look, I'm not saying she doesn't have some experience. I'm just saying, meh. A lot of this appears to be
board member. Look, she got enough exposure to feel comfortable enough.
A little hyperbole.
Yeah. She got exactly enough exposure to be able to know what to look up and make herself seem.
She can make some good sound bites.
Exactly.
But let's be clear here. If you're in finance and now you've pivoted to this, why do you think that is?
Why is that, Chris?
All I'm saying is, look, I don't. Tim Chiasano did this. He was in marketing, and now he's taking at 46 years old. He's going to pivot and go hard into social media and helping people out because he's got a passion for it. Okay, fine, good for you, right? He's being true to himself. I have no problem with people having a career change, right? But he has a long, tenured, financially successful, and visible track record of success that you can look at and say, okay, this man took a pivot. I look at her resume and I say, did you really become successful in this space, or were you in it, never lifted off, and made a pivot because you weren't good at it?
Yeah, man. I just had an epiphany too. People with her, I don't even want to call it a skill set, but like the ability to attract eyeballs and make these type of sound bites.
She's articulate. She sounds good. Yeah,
exactly. She knows how to memorize and put certain phrases together, and knows when to use them at the right time. Like given the era that we're in, back in the day, she would have made a great politician. But because of she can now make herself a content creator, and probably make herself a whole hell of a lot of money, a whole lot easier.
Yeah. 100%. And I look at this stuff and I think to myself, like, this is such a bizarre set of circumstances. And then I think, who the fuck is interviewing this girl?
Yeah, who's
why? Why would anybody want to interview you?
It's because,
what can you teach me?
Because they literally are trying. That's what you said earlier. They're going to use her for just to solidify themselves, give themselves some clout, because they know, like, that's the thing. That's my biggest problem. Okay, I never had a real huge problem with Graham Stephan. Okay, that's how
I do now.
I do now.
I've really fallen out of love with that guy.
I really have. I don't like that. Like, everything is clickbaity and the housing market's going to crash tomorrow and like all this shit, right? But what really threw me off the deep end was when I saw him try to give an honest interview with Grant Cardone. I'm like, what? You know better, dude. Like, I know
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. He's using it to, uplift himself.
Yeah. A great example of this
to tap into his base.
So how many followers does Cody Sanchez have? 1.9 million? Was that what I saw? Yeah, 1.9 million followers. So people have her on the show solely because they want to cross-pollinate and tap into the 1.9 million followers.
Founder of contrarian thinking. Come on, bro.
First of all, if you use the word contrarian in anything that you do to try to sell a business, I got to be honest, the word just comes off icky.
It's like when people use, disruptor.
Yeah, I'm the disruptor. I'm a contrarian.
Exactly.
I'm going to democratize this space. Okay, look, I get Robin Hood did it, okay?
Yeah, right.
But you're not Robin Hood.
Yeah, man.
Right? And just because, and not all contrarians are successful for the record, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are contrarians and they wind up in jail because they go against the rules.
Right.
Right? That's all I'm saying. It blows my mind that someone like her is literally mimicking Alex Hormozy. But it's not just her that does this cross-pollinating. Grant Cardone did this, and I lost friends because of what he did. Grant Cardone had this big thing on a boat in Miami, and he invited a lot of real estate and finance and social media personalities to come with him. And then they all filmed it. Everybody on the boat filmed it, pimped it to their social media. Grant Cardone didn't even have to film it himself. And you know what he did? He got to be the rich guy that appeared so rich and successful that everybody else was filming him, like the Ambani wedding, right? Because he had invited all these people, put them on a boat, put on an event for them, and then everyone's pimping him out, trying to take a picture with him and video with him because it's his event and they're trying to pay tribute. Right. Meanwhile, he's tapping into their millions of followers. Pace Morby, great example. Jamil Damji. I used to be tight with Jamil. Jamil was cool. Jamil was one of the first guests I had on the show. I still like Jamil, but Jamil's in this circuit, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, you know better.
You got a TV show. Like, you got an opportunity to take the straight and narrow path, and because you're so eager to grow, you're gonna sell out and go this path. You're gonna tap into somebody who, frankly, and look, I get you don't judge people until you sit across the table from them. Fine, okay, fine. Here's what I'll say. I won't judge Grant Cardone. Here's what I will judge. I will judge Pace Morby. Half the shit that Pace Morby says, and I'm spitting now, I'm so angry. Half the shit that Pace Morby says, when he talks about wholesaling and some of the stuff that he does, I am an attorney. I am licensed in more than one state, okay? I've been in finance almost all of my adult life.
Right.
It is just fucking wrong. He just says stuff that is absolutely wrong. Gets called out all the time. I have literally challenged this man multiple times to have a conversation with me. Let's just go at it. Let's you and I have it. You don't want to have the conversation with me because he knows I'm a licensed attorney because Jamil's told him.
Yeah,
Let's do this, bro.
He won't sit across the table from you. So what do you say to the viewer or the listener that comes across something that's sensational like that? I mean, they gotta talk to the CPA. They gotta talk to their own attorney. I mean, like, well, a lot of the times, you know what I've been seeing a lot lately is you should be investing in tax liens.
Oh my, low-income housing tax credits. Pace Morby did one on this the other day. He was like, I don't get taxed ever. You know, the average tax rate's 47%, but I don't pay any taxes because I cater to low-income housing tax credits, and I'm feeding the supply issue, and I provide affordable housing. No, motherfucker, you flip properties. Okay, you are not a Fortune 100 company. You're not investing in low-income housing tax credit properties. He's just throwing out buzzwords that most people hear and have no idea what it is, and they Google it and they go, "Oh, low-income housing tax credits." They go, "Oh, that's a real thing," and they don't understand the logistics, the businesses, what this even means, how people trade it. Right. And another guy, Tom Cruise, spelled C-R-U-Z, total D-bag, Section 8 housing, sells with bravado, obviously sells a course on how to do this. Total scumbag.
So for the listeners out there that don't understand about Section 8 housing, what is that?
Section 8 housing is government effectively sponsored housing, but for you, if you own a property and the property qualifies as in the Section 8 housing, you have to go through this process with them, and once you get approved, the government will effectively pay the overwhelming majority of the rent, and then you collect whatever you can remaining from the tenant.
Exactly.
But it's guaranteed payment with the government subsidizing it on some level.
Right.
But it's generally considered a very different demographic to rent to. It's not as easy as people make it out to be. A lot of people sell it sensationalized, and a lot of people in this space can be slumlords. and they try to put as little money into the property and try to really take advantage of people. I refuse to ever go down. My uncle owns a lot of Section 8, so I'm close to it enough to where I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
There are good ethical ways to do it, and there are very unethical ways to do it. And guess which one pays more money?
Right.
The unethical way.
Right.
I don't support that shit. I won't ever stand by it. Look, I understand Section 8 housing has its value, but there's never any need to be a slumlord.
No, absolutely.
And a lot of these guys act like they're king shit, and they're really being slumlords at the end of the day, or they're selling courses trying to act like their money came from something that it didn't.
I remember back in the day when I first started underwriting multifamily properties, and I was looking at one, and it looked like a rundown apartment.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate seeing it.
In somewhere in LA. And obviously I've underwritten like new property, like new construction, and I'm like, oh wow, this is really nice. And I was comparing this old one to the new ones, and I'm like, God, like why would the owner has like 30 of these? Like why wouldn't you just sell them? And I remember somebody telling me, they're like, no, the way this guy's a slumlord, the way he's looking at it is these tenants are living in there and they're never leaving.
Yeah, and I'm never going to do anything to improve the property unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah, because they don't care, I don't care, they're paying, that's all that matters. And you're like,
and it's
fuck,
wild,
that's
man.
dirty, bro.
Oh, it's dirty. And I've got horror stories that I could tell on the show. Actually, that'd be a good show. We could tell horror stories from the stuff that I've seen in the I've seen wild stuff, man. I've seen.
What was that? What was that show back in the day? Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah,
that was a good one, right? We could do that.
Right. The stuff that I've seen and walked into. I remember I walked into a longshoreman hotel in Oakland that wanted us to finance it, and there was like leakage coming in from outside the street. It was super rainy. It was super rainy, and the water was seeping into the foundation from the street. But the city was arguing that it was a property owner. The property owner was arguing it was the city's responsibility, so it never got fixed. And they built this weird aquatic thing and tried to fix it, but the water was running all through the foundation, leaking out of it. And you're like, this has got to have mold, right? There was this abandoned boiler down. I mean, it was wild. But the whole thing was under construction at the time, and they had people living in it still during the construction. I mean, it was so wild, some of the stuff that I've seen.
Yeah, man.
And again, so all these people will do another sensationalized thing that bothers me a lot. And I'm going to say this for the show. I'm going to say this because I mean it. I fucking despise when people get labeled haters.
Get labeled what?
Haters.
Okay.
Okay. Most people who were, quote, hating on you are trying to call bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to say what you're saying ain't real.
Right.
Okay? If you're putting it out there in a way that people have to say, no, this ain't real, like you're full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That means you're putting it out there for people to judge. And if their judgment is you're lying or you're not telling the truth, then that's on you. They're not a hater. They're skeptical. And they should be.
Right.
I mean, goddamn, AI can recreate things that look like real people talking.
Mm-hmm.
You have rappers, Drake, who have AI like voice work that have really amazing music coming out that they didn't do.
Right.
Are people who go, wait a minute, that's not Drake? Are they haters? No.
Yeah, they're just calling out the BS.
They're calling out the BS because they have a reason to feel that way. There's some truths that are undeniable, right?
Yeah, I hate that. When they do that, it's like we're gonna get attacked again. Crypto bros.
Yeah, we'll have one of those coming up too. Don't worry.
When you talk about crypto in a bad way, I mean, you can't trust that guy. That guy's got paper hands. Don't have diamond hands.
Yeah, diamond hands. Yeah, Ben Ball, you say that all the time,
bro. Paper hand, diamond hands. Like, what are we doing? Come on.
The next one you've heard of before, Andy Elliott.
I can't tell you how many listeners have reached out to me and asked me, is this guy legit?
I don't know that he is legit, okay? I really don't know. But he labels himself on his own profile, world's fastest growing sales trainer.
Okay, I've seen
what does that mean?
I've seen some of his sale tactics, and look, yes, he talks in a way that comes off as like he's wildly confident, but if somebody comes off that strong with me on a sales call, I'm out. Like, you're pushing way too hard, dude.
Yeah, you're peer pressure.
Like the product isn't selling itself. You're having to sell the product, right? Or whatever it is that you're trying to sell. And for me, this guy, this ain't it. Just because, look, I don't think that in business, like, okay, David Goggins, for instance, right? He's the hardest guy alive, and sometimes people will hire him to come on just to push themselves and do that. Okay, if you like that and you want to push yourself physically, that to me, even that's a little bit different. But in the business and finance world, like, you can't have this type of coach pushing you like this. It doesn't translate the same.
This doesn't work for anybody who has a career. If you have a career, if you're a car salesman, this might work for you. If you're a car salesman and been in the business for 10, 15 years, this is not going to work for you.
Yeah.
If you want to motivate a young, naive group and try to get them like hustle culture energy, this might work for you. His title, text me, gives a telephone number. I guarantee you it's not his real telephone number. Okay. It's time to get it all. Fit as fuck, best marriage, badass dad, love God, and 100 million plus business. Okay. What does 100 million plus business mean?
I don't know what it means, but he's leaning into the dad thing.
Yeah, dude, he leans into faith too.
Leans into faith.
Praise the Lord Jesus. He does the whole thing, yeah. And he
They're
likes
just talking about him selling cars, or no, his audience is selling cars.
Yeah.
His experience, first thing.
Sell more cars. Jeez.
Different number in here too.
Yeah, and look, this is where I look at it and go, guys, okay, LinkedIn is not a place for you to pimp your fake Instagram profile restructured.
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn is supposed to have tangible, real world, verifiable experience. Okay? And if your experience is limited to founder and CEO of the Elliott Group, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence in your history of performance.
No education, no background.
But you know who this works for, and this is what's really sad, is unfortunately there are a lot of disenfranchised young males.
But that's his in group. That's who he's trying to tap into.
And that's who he's trying to tap into because they're like,
he's
man,
trying to
this guy,
boiler room.
look at this guy. He's fit. And look at him. He can talk his ass off.
He's got everything I want, man.
I want to be that confident.
He's looking at this and they're looking at it and they're like, oh, no jargon.
Bro, he's fit as fuck. He's got his best marriage. He's a badass dad. He loves God. He's got a $100 million business. What's not to love, bro?
Look, he's keeping it real, bro. Straight to the point. No BS. Like, I love this guy.
He's going to tell me straight up that I'm fat.
Yeah. They all doubted me. Look, what is he? He looks like Pitbull.
And I got to be honest, man. Like, he's got over 70,000 followers on LinkedIn. I've got 2,700. How is that the case?
Yeah, I know.
How is he providing any value? I don't understand. Maybe I'm not meant to.
No.
Okay, can we go to Yappasaurus Rex next?
Yappa, yappa, yappa.
Yappasaurus Rex. You have undoubtedly seen this man. Luke Belmar. Private equity. Oh, is he really though?
Is he really though?
Crypto, e-commerce, #Bitcoin, founder of Capital Club. Little fun fact, Luke Belmar's real name is not Luke Belmar. Not Luke Belmar. Luke Belmar is an American who apparently allegedly made some money in crypto, one type of crypto. It was like a total sleazebag coin, and has been, quote, traveling the world ever since, preaching his, I don't know, bullshit spin on reality. He has almost like a Andrew Tate-like structure, whereas other people pimp his stuff for him, and they're incentivized to pimp it.
Yes.
Vis-a-vis this Capital Club, whatever thing that he's joining.
Part of that hustle culture.
Hustle culture. He tries to give you these massive epiphanies of logic. He looks like he's, what, 25?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Why do people think that a 20-something-year-old who posts nothing but photos of himself and quotes of himself, why do they think that this person can provide them value? His claim to fame is he was in the right place at the right time, assuming you believe it, and invested in a once-in-a-lifetime cryptocurrency, which, by the way, cannot be verified publicly.
Okay.
You have no way of actually seeing that he's become and been really successful outside of what he's showing you and telling you. It's completely off the radar. And you know nothing. He's using a fake name. This is known. He's using a fake name. No, this is not like, oh, Chris is being a hater.
Right.
You are literally using a fake name. Why would you be doing that, Luke Belmar?
I worry.
I tried finding him on LinkedIn. Real name, fake name, nothing.
Of course. Why would he have a LinkedIn? He's off the grid, bro, like his cryptocurrency.
Yeah, exactly. I worry about the day when guys like Warren Buffett aren't around anymore. You know, we already lost Charlie Munger, R.I.P., right? And you don't have their sound advice to lean on, and all you have are scumbags like this that the youth are looking up to.
And it's wild to me that you see it. I don't get to posing like they.
How are we gonna get you to be the next Charlie Munger, bro?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't want to be the next Charlie Munger.
Why?
Huh?
Why not?
I don't think that
Too much
level.
pressure?
I don't think that level of wisdom and success is attainable the same way anymore.
No, yeah,
They came up at such an interesting time. And keep in mind, Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, they were really well known the last 20 years. But the first 20 years,
right.
they were only known in the investment communities.
Yeah. Which is done that's the right way, though.
Yeah, they weren't.
The numbers, they let the numbers speak for themselves.
And they did. And over time, people were like, wow, these guys have done something. They have public filings, reports, tracked. Now everybody tracks all their trades. But again, great example. When Charlie Munger, I'm sorry, I always say Charlie Munger because I adored him. When Warren Buffett sells down his Apple position,
yeah,
it is reported on by the media.
Right.
You know that it happened. When he goes into cash in an unprecedented way, the market is covering it. He's not posting about it on social media.
Yeah.
He's not telling people in news outlets.
He doesn't need to.
When was the last time you saw Warren Buffett sit down for a news interview?
Right.
When was the last time you saw him give somebody financial advice? You want Warren Buffett's financial advice? Buy a piece of his company's stock and go to his annual shareholder meeting. That's why people own it. That's how incredibly valuable he is. Seasoned investors with hundreds of thousands of dollars of disposable assets and income will buy one share of his stock just so they can attend the annual shareholder meeting so they can hear him speak on the economy.
Right.
That's real value, not some D-bag posting with an alien icon next to their name using a fake name, suggesting that he is the savior of all things cryptocurrency.
Man.
And, of course, one of my personal favorites up next, the one and only Chris Crone. He's a public figure, apparently. He's creating financial freedom with real estate. At least he left the magnanimous bullshit off the title of his profile. 667,000 followers. He is arguably one of the most made fun of men on social media.
So claiming you're a public figure just makes it harder for him to successfully win a defamation lawsuit, right?
In some ways, yeah. In some ways, yes. It's an option on the page.
You should put public figure on your profile.
Yeah.
I know.
Chris Crone's a great example of he has a sordid history legally, right, including fraud cases. He seemingly came from nowhere and now is telling everyone about how he can teach you to amass all the wealth that he's amassed. Yet, the best evidence you've seen of him being real was a video made by his videographer and video production guy, Ryan Magan, who's the same guy who worked with Grant Cardone and several others in and around that space. And Ryan knew that he was such a sensational figure that he was going to follow him around for a day and vlog his life and then post it in a very long YouTube video, which I watched parts of. I did. And honestly, I didn't walk away from a single bit of it feeling like he was more authentic and true having watched it.
Right.
It just seemed like more lies and bullshit.
Another guy that goes above and beyond to be extra flashy for no reason other than to just make you feel like he has money.
Yeah.
He's like one of the first guys, too, that I saw, because, mind you, I'm not really heavy deep into the social media space.
He said he doesn't sleep.
I know. Bro, you're not Kobe. Relax. Okay? But I've seen him, like, literally talk on a video, and he just has stacks of, like, $10,000, like, stacks from the bank.
He said he had to eat so much food to maintain his weight that he had anal bleeding. His words.
To maintain his caloric maintenance?
Because he bodybuilds and has a trainer. And I got to be honest.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, no, it's literally a quote on one of his pages. Literally, I said that.
I had to eat so much.
He's like, this is an easy lifestyle, blah, blah. It's so hard to do. And I'm looking at his body, and I'm like, okay, I don't see it personally. I mean, like, you look skinny, you look lean.
You look like you work out, but not like nothing crazy.
No rectal bleeding, though, brother. You know what I mean? Like, you're not Hattie Chopin winning the men's Olympia or anything like that.
God, he's talking about the rate drop.
Yeah, and these guys all want to talk about the rate environment. They all want to talk about that, like they're financial.
I only
illiterate.
sleep 4 hours a night. What do you say?
Yeah, no, he does. He says the wildest stuff. All of these people do, frankly.
Man,
all of them do. I will say, someone like a Cody Sanchez says stuff that is less hyperbole, but just kind of useless.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you feel good about yourself. This guy is nuts, and he does this all the time. Like, if you look at the tables here, what does he do? He has stacks of money on the table.
Yeah.
gold bullion bricks. And you're like, dude, nobody takes you seriously. When someone gets fat as a title, really?
Do you think?
And then he goes to the Clever Summit, 24.
So what is he selling?
Of course.
He's selling courses?
Courses.
This guy too.
Yeah. He's selling courses.
Who's buying his courses, man?
Yeah, he's selling courses, man. He'll teach you how to get rich. He'll teach you how to wholesale. He has a book. He does the whole e-com thing.
That's the thing, right? They don't need everyone to buy into the shtick. They just
He's
need
a social media influencer and real estate mentor. That's his LinkedIn, brother. That's not even me making fun of him.
real estate investor and mentor for the past 21 years.
21 years and 8 months from Provo, Utah.
Just please.
Education, BYU. And Business School of Hard Knocks. Is that what it says there on BYU?
Yep.
It does.
Is that his major, Chief?
It does. Business School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah. What was the first part of it? Marriage? What was the?
Marriage, family, and human development.
I would say he has not developed very well as a human. And he's got a degree in development.
That's a bad look.
That's a bad look.
That's a bad look, BYU.
That's a bad look, BYU.
Come on,
If this
BYU.
guy's claiming you to fame, you did something wrong.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah. If I were BYU, I'd be like, we do not claim him.
Yeah, we need to take that down.
Yeah, he did not go here.
Yeah, and we should just start tagging BYU in all the comment sections.
And if you've ever been to this guy's profile and you wondered, is this where Crohn's disease came from? Where you have indigestion and fissures of your ass? Yeah, this is where it came from.
So I recently found out I don't even know what Crohn's disease is. It's a real problem.
Yeah, I
bro.
thought I had it at one point in time.
So explain to me, what is it? Is it life threatening?
No, but it is very unhealthy. So Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disease that causes chronic inflammation in the GI tract, which extends from your stomach all the way down to your anus. Now, let me be clear on what that really means.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I had something because of a broken tailbone that caused there to be something known as a fistula. Do you know what a fistula is?
I feel like you're going to tell me.
I am going to tell you. Buckle up, kids. We're going on a ride. Okay. I had a hole that developed from my colon to my anus that went around the pathway which would normally go where you poop through.
I'm going to be the mature one here. I'm letting a lot go.
No, go ahead.
How did you get a hole in your colon, bro?
So it went from my colon. So basically, imagine like a second smaller asshole developing.
Yeah.
Right? And the beauty here is that thing bleeds all the time. And I had to live through this. I was bleeding rectally all the time.
I told you to not let me dock, bro.
Yeah. Well, trust me, docking would have been a lot less painful. I made the mistake. So they thought this could have been Crohn's disease. So I had to get tested for it, the whole thing, because this is apparently something that happens with Crohn's disease on occasion.
Oh, wow.
Right, including irritable bowel syndrome and all sorts of other challenges. But so I looked deep into this. It turns out that it wasn't that. It was related to a broken tailbone. Things got infected. You know, the area wound up having problems. But in order to fix this problem, this is a while. I didn't know. I scheduled the surgery to fix it, but didn't know what it was. And the night before the surgery, I'm a fucking idiot. I decide I'm going to go on YouTube and Google it, thinking that I'll get some kind of explanatory video, not an actual surgery.
You're sick like that.
I am sick. And apparently, other countries that post to YouTube, like India, like Great Britain,
yeah,
post actual surgeries.
It's on YouTube for anyone to see. You don't got to go on like
There's no parental discretion being advised. You just roll right into it. I thought so.
So YouTube doesn't flag that, but will flag our shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks.
Yeah.
YouTube.
And let me just tell you, right out the gate, this person's on a table under anesthesia with their legs over their head. Okay? Because you got to get down there and you got to get access.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no other way, right?
There's no other. I mean, I don't know if you ever looked at someone's anus before,
Wait,
but their feet over their head is.
So they're knocked out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I'm looking at this going like, this is going to be me on a table tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
obviously.
legs over my head out, and like their legs are strapped up. Right? Because that's the only way to keep them up.
How is this possible?
It gets worse. You haven't heard the worst part yet?
What?
Okay, so in order to fix this problem, they can't just close up the hole because it's a hole going the way. They stick a wire from your colon, inside your colon, out through the hole. Then this wire heats up and they tear this hole to your anus.
Stop it.
All the way across. So now you have a hole from your colon through your anus and you have a slit. What used to be a round spot. Okay? You're laughing. I lived through this, brother. But they can't sew it up because it's bacterial infection. They have to let it heal from the inside out over time, a great deal of time. So every time I went to the bathroom, I had to sit in warm salt water for 45 minutes afterward because you can't wash it either.
Oh my God. So there's a risk of re-tearing it?
Oh, dude, I poop ribbons now. Yeah. No one ever is going to, I'm not going to get to prison. Someone's going to be like, nope, I'm not touching that. Whoever did that, I can't. No, he owns you. Yeah. It's a real thing.
Shuttlesworth.
Yeah, no, it was the most strange thing I've ever had to live through and never thought in a million years. And every time I see Chris Crone's face, I remember it.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right.
Let's talk about some data, huh?
Yeah, we actually do talk about financial literacy in the show.
Yeah, we actually do. But before you do that, if you're listening to us on Apple or Spotify, please head over, leave us an honest 5-star review. It does a lot for the show. We appreciate it. Or if you're watching us over on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, ring that notification bell. Let's get this video out to as many people as possible. Do all the moist, goody good stuff.
Smooth.
Please, yeah.
Very smooth.
Maybe head over to transcendcompany.com and get yourself a blood panel.
Man, they sent me some new stuff today.
Mm-hmm.
And more testosterone, more NAD plus coming in. Feel blessed. Feel good.
Yeah.
All right, so I hope that segment was helpful. I mean, on some level, I know that it's a little bit of, look, I think a lot of people question this stuff and they go, is this person real? I don't know. I hope at least we're like shedding light on the red flags.
Yeah, and hopefully you know that type of sensationalism, that type of content strikes a red flag for you.
Yeah.
To where you're like, okay, I need to go find something else. I feel like a lot of the listeners that may hear that and we're like, oh, okay, these are the people we shouldn't trust. Well, then who should we trust, Chris?
The higher standard.
Duh.
Obviously.
That's why you're here.
You.
Yeah.
Me.
Him.
Sometimes. Sometimes, Haroon.
Yeah.
Haroon, you still back there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why sometimes?
Because you're not here sometimes.
Yeah. Those times you can't trust you. I mean,
Yeah.
You're out.
I don't even trust myself.
Unreliable. Just from timing perspective.
Unreliable.
No, he's reliable.
Reliably absent. Yeah.
He didn't like it.
All right. This is actually positive news. Okay. From Yahoo Finance, inflation cools to the lowest level since March of 2021. That's right. Inflation numbers are out again. And this being so close to what we now know to be a very, very probable rate cut in September, because you listen to all the previous Higher Standards episodes leading up to this one.
Mm-hmm.
You listen to our Fireside Chat, episode 242, I believe. So you know that this is a very, very important print, because it's either going to confirm that there is a likelihood of a rate cut, or it's going to make us go, maybe not.
I mean, that's why I'm wearing my celebratory shirt. If you're plugged in on the YouTube channel, I'm not wearing any THS gear because I'm celebrating.
Is that what that is?
I told everybody that we would be celebrating once we knew a rate cut was coming.
I feel like you said you would do the show without a shirt on.
That's not.
There's still time. Take it off.
With some pasties.
I don't think you need the pasties. You've got enough fur.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Just pasties.
I'll do a show with the pasties on.
Yeah, you will.
I'll do it.
Yeah, you're jacked now. Of course you
I'm
will.
not jacked.
Any excuse to take off the shirt?
No, it's very embarrassing.
No, it's not.
It's very embarrassing. I don't like
What's
it.
so embarrassing about it?
I've never looked in the mirror.
Yeah, wear it like it's your body armor, bro.
I've never looked in the mirror and been like, oh, God, I look good.
Stop it.
I see
You did the whole freaking physique competition thing.
It was very, that was trying to overcome an insecurity. That wasn't like, oh, I look great. I look like an Oompa Loompa, dude. I was very
I don't
orange.
like the whole tanning thing, but
Yeah.
I get why you got to do it.
All right, stay focused.
Yeah.
A closely watched report on U.S. inflation showed consumer price increase came in line with estimates during the month of July, according to the latest data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics released on Wednesday morning. Today is Wednesday the 14th. That's right, kids.
Mm-hmm.
So the Consumer Price Index, CPI, rose just 0.2% over the previous month, an uptick from June's 0.1% decline amid a pickup in energy prices. Again, this is not core inflation, which excludes food and energy because it tends to be volatile and do things just like this. The monthly increase in prices was in line with economists' expectations, so this is good news. Right?
Yeah, we don't care about the month-over-month figure, Chris.
We don't care.
about the year-over-year figure.
So to your point, the index increased 2.9% over the prior year in July. To handle, very important. The Fed's target rate for inflation is 2%. We are at 2.9% as of right now, which was a slight deceleration compared to June's 3% number of an annual gain in prices and also ahead of economists' expectations of a 3% annualized increase. On a core basis, which strips out the more volatile cost of food and gas or energy, prices in July climbed 0.2% over the prior month and 3.2% over last year, matching economists' expectations. Core prices rose 0.1% month over month and 3.3% on the annual basis in June. And Chris, what are you saying here? I'm saying everything went as expected. There was no weird data that came out. This will support a rate cut in September, and this does nothing to change the narrative that we have provided in our now iconic fireside chat.
Right. So, a couple things that we have to address here. There's still some problems with this report, but like you said, it does still support a Fed rate cut in September, hence the celebratory shirt. Okay? Now, the question remains, is it going to be 50 basis points or 25 basis points? Meaning, are they going to cut rates 0.5% or 0.25%?
0.25% guaranteed.
You think so?
Yeah.
As of right now, according to the CME, the Fed Watch tool, right, that hasn't missed, neither have we, it's literally a coin flip.
Yeah, and same thing for world interest rate probability.
So 43.5% chance at a 50 basis point cut and a 56.5% chance at a 25 basis point cut. Okay?
Yeah.
So slightly the nudge goes to 25 basis points, whatever, okay? And keep in mind, they're also baking in cuts for November and December, but we'll see. I think that's a bit aggressive to also call out November, December without knowing what's going to happen next after they do cut rates. The problem with the report still, though, however, was shelter came in at 5.1%. They're expecting it to come down a little bit more. From the previous report that came out, it was at 5.2. It only came down to 5.1%. Keep in mind, when we talk about the Fed's target rate of inflation, what they're trying to get to is what we said, 2%. It's not just they want everything to be at 2%, right? That's something that's a little bit more stabilized, something that, people can account for, right? And, still aim, to seek better paying jobs, and it can still stimulate the economy without throwing things into a downward spiral, right? 5.1% is still very, very high. It's going to take a long time. I don't think we will ever hit a true 2% inflation rate, right?
And they do with a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people think that the Fed is never going to hit that target rate and have said that quite openly. So you're not alone in that thought process.
Right. So, and that is why I feel like, remember, the Fed has two jobs, right? They have a dual mandate. It's to stabilize prices and to provide maximum employment. They put out a prediction that they thought unemployment was going to end the year at somewhere around 4%. And now, based on the last jobs report, it came in at 4.3%. That's enough for them to be like, oh, whoa. We got to back off our target of hitting 2% because we really got to care about these jobs.
And they just said recently that 4.5% being that new standard normal
Yes.
is their target.
Right. That's a healthy unemployment figure. So, look, exciting that we now are going to step into phase 3 of this whole cycle, right? Phase 1 was the increasing of interest rates. Phase 2 was when they held it, and they've held it now for a prolonged period of time, higher for longer, right? Yep. And now phase 3 is now the descend, right, where they start to cut rates.
Well, let's look at where the inflation is, shall we?
Let's do it.
Going to the chart of the day, inflation rose in July, according to Labor Department report Wednesday, that it is likely to keep an interest rate cut on the table in September. As we told you, Consumer Price Index, a broad-based measure of prices for goods and services, rose the numbers we just provided. So effectively, you've got a Consumer Price Index that is, again, in line. Now, go to the next chart there, if you don't mind, the one that gives you a little more spread. There you go. So this chart gives you the U.S. Consumer Price Index month-over-month percentage change from January of 2021 all the way to July of 2024. And if anything, it shows you that there has been a very palpable and very visible change in how CPI inflation has acted. Okay. Particularly if you go to the month prior to July, and you see it dipping down and the change month-over-month being pretty significant. I think you're entering that weird kind of pivotal moment where the Fed has to make a choice, or you're going to see recession, because this chart's really indicating that you're walking into possibly negative GDP periods of time. I mean, they're using inflation as a proxy here for it. Arun, did I give you the go to the next chart, the next one, the next page? There you go. Perfect. So according to Yahoo Finance, overall inflation below 3% for the first time since March of 2021. Auto insurance up almost 20%.
Wild, man.
And I'm seeing it. I don't know if you guys checked your policy. My policy's gone up egregiously.
Yeah.
So Americans plagued by rising prices the past 3 years got another promising sign on Thursday that inflation is sustainably easing. So again, all the rhetoric here is positive. Every chart of the day, Yahoo Finance, everybody's agreed this is all positive. And now they're just reporting on where the CPI numbers are. Number 2, rent over 5%.
Yep.
Increase year over year. Housing 4.4%. So to be clear here, okay? Number 1, auto insurance. We're all paying auto insurance if we're driving legally. You're running my you back there, but you know. Rent and housing, so that's the shelter component, still going up 4.4% and 5.1%. That's a pretty big component.
Yep.
Below that, restaurant meals. We're all eating. Okay? That's at 4.1%. Household energy 4%. We're all paying for our utilities, right?
Right.
I mean, it's just these are all things we're paying, and they're all north of 2%.
Yeah. I mean,
so for people to think that, oh, just because inflation's at 2.9% means that I'm better. No, you're still paying a whole hell of a lot more year over year than you were paying last year.
Right. And look, there are ways. I believe in a world where these reports can be manipulated. Okay.
Mm.
And I feel like the overall real inflation rate is more than what's being reported, right? I feel it at the grocery store. I feel it wherever we go.
Oh, I feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and mind you, this inflation rate, it's compounding. So the real rate of inflation over the last several years that we've all been dealing with is significantly higher. But the key thing here to celebrate is, okay, we're finally getting numbers and data that supports their position and where they want it to go. This will provide some easing for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to your point, Haroon, the next report, if you don't mind. We talked about this in the last show, and we were going to include it, but we decided not to. But I think this is a great opportunity to show it. All of that inflation, all of that additional cost, well, it all adds up. Credit card debt hits a record of $1.14 trillion, according to CNBC's chart of the day. Total credit card balance in the United States as of Q1 2018 through Q2 of 2024 at an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
And that is largely because of inflation. Collectively, Americans now owe a record of $1.14 trillion on their credit cards, according to a new report on household debt from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Credit card balances rose by $27 billion in the second quarter of 2024, a 5.8% jump from a year ago.
Wow.
Something
else that got reported by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York that really takes on this component of the credit card debt was that 9.1% of all credit card debt out there right now is being transitioned into delinquency.
Yeah. That's a scary number. I think it's going to get worse.
And it's only going to get worse, right? Because, mind you, people aren't making enough to also pay down principal. They're probably just being able to pay down the bare minimum, paying the minimum payment, which is majority interest, right? And then they're still having to use those credit cards. Even I think TransUnion actually came out recently and talked about how they're seeing more and more and more people maxing out their credit cards, showcasing even further how people are stretched so thin. And it's no different than even what the U.S. is having to deal with their interest payments. So their payments towards the debt that the U.S. has gone up 21%. They're paying 21% more towards interest payments than they did last year, right? Like, think about that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot, man. So it's everyone's dealing with it except they get to just borrow more money.
Yeah, let us increase the debt ceiling one more time.
Yeah.
So, Haroon, I included the next article because I thought it was a great segue into pop culture because we rarely have an opportunity for finance-based pop culture.
I thought this was kind of wild.
Yeah. Starbucks stock soars after poaching Chipotle's CEO. Yeah, did anybody catch the food reference there? Poached?
Poached, yeah.
Okay, all right. According to Yahoo Finance, Starbucks investors are on a caffeine high. News that Chipotle's Brian Nicole, 50 years old, God damn, he's only 6 years older than me, will replace Laxman Nourish, not going to work here anymore, as CEO sent the shares soaring 24.5% on Tuesday, the best single-day session ever for the coffee chain. Nicole will take the helm on September 9th, while Starbucks CFO Rachel will serve as interim CEO to bridge the gap. Nicole brings the confidence of the investment community and the leaders around him. BTIG analyst Peter Sahai was told.
Saleh.
Okay, fine. You could just let that one go.
Come on, put some respect on his name, bro.
Well, dude, if his
on
name...
the analyst's name, bro. I got
Peter
respect
Saleh,
for, I got respect for my analysts out there.
But the fast food veteran will need to hit the ground running. Among his to-do list, turning around Starbucks'
flagging U.S. sales.
Flagging.
Who uses that like that?
That's, yeah.
No, you're just being an asshole. Starbucks flagging.
Come on, Yahoo Finance.
U.S. sales, reestablishing its footing as a premium coffee player. Was it ever really a premium coffee player? I mean... upping menu innovation and increasing speed of service. Okay, here's some ideas, Starbucks.
This is a tough time for your boy Brian.
Stop using hot dog water to make coffee.
There's that, but
okay.
I think they're not going to talk about, and we're probably not going to talk about, but I think what they're really dealing with, and they're going to have a hard time adjusting, is a lot of people boycotting Starbucks, bro. It's a real thing.
Boycotting Starbucks?
Yeah, you don't want to talk about it right now.
Why?
It's a
Is it political?
It's a nice political conversation you don't want to get into.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that.
Your boy back there boycott Starbucks.
Haroon, you don't go to Starbucks anymore?
Nope.
Okay, now I gotta ask why.
No,
I legitimately don't understand why. I don't know why.
Oh, go ahead, Odin.
No reason.
Come on, man. It's political, bro. Overseas.
It's a Palestinian thing?
Yeah.
Did they support Palestine or Israel or something?
No. Yeah, I think you can understand.
I legitimately don't know. I've never heard this before.
Yeah. They came out like a lot of companies did and supported Israel. We stand with Israel.
Really? The Indian dude CEO did?
No. The company as a whole.
So the company's narrative around PR and marketing
PR,
was we stand with Israel or something?
Yeah, something like that.
You're kidding.
I swear. A lot of companies did.
Why would they even take a position in that?
I don't know. That's my whole thing. Why do companies feel the need to get involved?
Everyone did.
Yeah, every company did.
Not the higher standard.
No, yeah, exactly.
It wasn't just companies. It was like sports teams. Like people were pushing out press releases. We stand with Israel. Like it was wild.
I just don't understand. Like, if you have business there and there's a business need to make a statement, I guess maybe, but I don't really understand why.
If you're not a company involved in politics, why get yourself involved in politics?
That's what
why alienate people?
Like sports teams like pushing out press releases. I didn't understand.
Let's just not even bring the political side into this from a business decision.
I don't get it.
Why would you want to put yourself out there to where you have to pick a side in something to where now you have, I can't even tell you, millions of people boycotting you?
I got to be honest. If you told me Starbucks never issued a press release on Israel or Palestine or the conflict over there or Ukraine and Russia for that matter, I would have been like, why would they?
Yeah, to me, it's like, yeah, that's the sound business decision.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Right. If somebody commented, be like, hey, Starbucks, like if there was like an NBA post-game press conference, what are your thoughts on the matter? No comment. I don't need to talk about it. I don't want to get involved.
It's the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay? You want the UN that's down the street? Make it right?
Yeah, exactly.
Look for Salman Rushdie.
Over here, we sell coffee.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
We sell coffee beans to anyone who do you like coffee?
I love coffee.
Fantastic, yeah.
Do you like frappuccinos?
What?
They sell frappuccinos, don't they?
Who still uses the phrase frappuccino?
Is that not, what do you mean?
Who still order that? Arun, when was the last time you ordered a frappuccino?
That's his go-to drink, dog.
No, it's not.
Mocha frappuccino? That's your thing.
No,
that was from McDonald's.
He's
like
a sophisticated.
4 years
Wait,
ago.
hold on. Mocha. Wait,
Pre-marriage.
mocha. Bro, I was with this guy. He's like, I get a mocha frappuccino, extra whip.
Whip. I hate whipped cream.
He wanted it flowing. He wanted it.
What's with the hand gesture?
Come on, you
can't stroke it. So he's like,
I can't show you. I've been wanting to hold this.
You've been doing it all day long.
Still?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought of it.
You've got an unconscious pole grabbing like problem.
Hey, if it counts for anything, Saied, I saw Chris stroking his own leg a few times.
I did, yeah.
You do this.
I do this, yeah, a lot.
You just want to
You
make
want to
sure.
know why? I've got like my leg for some reason, my right leg. I don't know if it's like a nerve thing or whatever. It's just like it like really gets achy at the bottom.
I know we need chairs to where we can sit like comfortably with like, to where we can swivel, put our legs down.
I don't want to swivel, because you're not going to be able to contain yourself.
I need a swivel.
It's going to be straight gangbanging in here with your swivel. I can't. Yeah. Start doing it in unison.
Suavemente.
Yeah. Who does that?
Come on.
What is with your references tonight? They're so bad.
What do you mean?
Suavemente?
Come on.
What is it, 1990?
It's a great song.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's
hey,
not.
be careful. You're gonna have some people boycotting the show.
I took a position politically in Suavemente.
So how does this happen? I need to know.
What?
Companies as big as this.
You want to know what one of the negotiation points of this deal was?
Yeah.
The new CEO, who lives in California, is going to work remote,
I ain't coming in.
not coming in,
What
not going to relocate to Seattle.
What kind of message does that send to everybody? That kind of shit.
That's a difficult
That's a real thing.
cultural pill, man.
That's a real thing, though, right? That
I could argue for a CEO, it doesn't really matter because from a CEO's perspective, your job is to be out and about anyway, like shaking hands, kissing babies. You're not supposed to be sitting in corporate all day long, like, doing stuff per se.
right.
You're not a worker bee. You're supposed to be out there kind of doing the political thing at some point, and particularly when you're this size of a company.
Right.
So he should be traveling a lot anyway for business, so you might as well travel from your home base.
Okay.
But there's also those who say, hey, your presence at HQ has value culturally. You set the tone. How are you going to set the tone not being at headquarters?
So take us behind the curtain a little bit. Okay. I know
Colorectal exam story wasn't enough for you earlier?
Trying to be very careful here.
Okay.
Right? Like, how much thought goes into these types of decisions when you're thinking about, culturally what's best for everybody?
Not enough, frankly.
There should be way more.
Unless a company has a known cultural problem internally,
Mm-hmm.
it's generally not a initial talking point. The only cultural conversation you have is this person the right person to execute on the broader strategic plan?
Right.
And will they be amenable to work with from a board corporate governance perspective? But very rarely, unless again it's a hot topic, are people concerned with the impacts to culture?
I mean, Haroon, what do you think? Like, if you're working for a company and you had a CEO say, "Man, I ain't relocating," would that piss you off, or would you be like,
It won't affect me and what I do.
you wouldn't care? You wouldn't care?
I wouldn't care. Again, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
In my role, it doesn't.
Which, a totally reasonable thing to say. I get that. And for a lot of people, I think it's the same thing. It really comes down to how well they can. This guy's only 49. He's going to be 50 years old.
Man, he looks like an actor. Who
He's
does he
like
look
5 years older than me.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's got a chin on him, huh?
Or let's go to his LinkedIn. I got to do
That's
this.
exactly what I was going to do.
Yeah,
But
we gotta do
actually,
this.
going back to your question side, I think it all depends on if I'm remote myself.
Oh, great. 1974, 49 years old, born in Orange County.
He went to the U?
He was the chief executive officer of Taco Bell.
He hasn't even updated this yet?
He was the chief executive officer of Taco Bell.
He was
the president of Yum Brand. Dude, he was local boy. He was all Irvine. General manager of Pizza Hut from Yum Brands.
Wow.
Then he went on to
Let's start from the bottom.
Procter & Gamble, 9 years, 11 months.
Yum Brands.
Vice president, Yum Brands down the street. Dude, it's literally right around the corner from here.
Mm-hmm.
So he was vice president, Yum Brands, chief marketing officer of Pizza Hut, which is owned by Yum Brands, general manager, Pizza Hut USA, which is a weird title, but I'm assuming it's bigger than it sounds, chief marketing innovation officer of Yum Brands Taco Bell, which again, down the street, president, Yum Brands Taco Bell, because again, under this. So he's worked for Yum Brands effectively this entire time, which owns all these franchises. Then he became CEO of Taco Bell, which is again, underneath the brands.
I mean,
and then now,
for how long? From 2015 to 2018? I'll be honest.
Wow.
My perception of Taco Bell hasn't really changed a whole lot, so I don't know how good of a job he did there.
Yeah, so this is the thing. So he was CEO of Chipotle from February 2018 to present. Have they had a lot of really good growth since then? The answer is probably no.
But they've had a lot of PR.
A lot of PR.
They had
They had a lot of bad
What was
PR
it?
too, though.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
did.
thing. Bad PR is good PR. They had the gray cheese sauce.
I don't know though, man. I don't know. Bad PR in the food space.
So here's the question.
That's not the same. Bad PR in the food space could really, once you make up your mind on something like that, it's like game over. I'm not going back.
So here's an interesting thing that I'm just going to throw out there. Here's how I would position it with the board if I were to talk to them. Okay, board, you guys made a decision to hire somebody in a very high profile move. Totally understand why you weren't satisfied with your current CEO. I get that. Why do you think this person can be transformative to your company?
Yeah.
Because what I'm looking at here are brands. Pizza Hut, not transformative in any way, shape, or form. And maybe he wasn't in the position as chief marketing officer. Okay, fine. Taco Bell. There's an argument that Taco Bell has had some growth, but are they crushing? Probably not.
I mean,
but he's in the corporate game. He's been part of Yum Brands, which is, a bigger food-based company. And then he goes to be CEO of Chipotle from February 2018 to present. 6 years and 7 months. That's a long time. Based out of Newport Beach.
I don't understand the hate on Chipotle, honestly. I love me some Chipotle.
I don't think it's terrible. It's always for some reason I think it's too salty. But look, I've never had a problem with Chipotle. I'm not saying they're bad. I think it's a great brand, and they're doing okay.
None of their stuff's frozen too, right?
Yeah, no, it's local farmed. They try to get what they can.
I love that.
But has he been transformative there, or did he walk into Chipotle, which was acquired from McDonald's, and did he just run the brand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, played it safe.
But here's the thing. The board clearly doesn't care. He's clearly capable of being a CEO. Taco Bell, Chipotle, now Starbucks. But does he have a track record of being transformative? Why do they feel like that decision was the right decision for them? And I don't know the answer.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard. I can't imagine, like, if you're looking for a new CEO and you're Starbucks.
I don't even know how that conversation starts.
I mean, it's like there's a limited amount of people. Their numbers, only a handful of people that could probably even take on that job. Unless you go full left and you just try something completely new and you go with someone that's just data driven, right?
Yeah.
But usually people we've talked about on the show before, people that are CEOs, they're more like salesy. They're like sales guys.
I got to be honest. If you're the CEO of Taco Bell, like, I'm not hitting you up for free tacos. If you're the CEO of Chipotle, I'm like, throw me a burrito every once in a while.
Bro,
but you're the CEO of Starbucks, I better be getting some goddamn caffeine.
I have to, right?
You know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, I need my nitro cold brew. You want to just put a tap in my house now, or should we wait till later on? Like, how you want to do this? He's in Newport. I'm going to knock on his door.
Nitro cold brew, game changer.
Sweet cream nitro cold brew.
I mean, yeah.
2 stevia.
You could do that.
Oh, yeah.
2
shots of sugar-free vanilla. 70 calories, the whole drink. Let me tell you.
You went to the U, huh?
Yeah, Miami. Engineering background. MBA in finance and strategy. That's good MBA. University of Chicago
not
booth.
the U. This is Miami University.
It's
not?
That
one's University of Miami.
Who cares? Trust me, this guy's making more money than all of us will ever will.
It sounds like you went to the right U.
Yeah, he did something right. It wasn't the wrong school wherever he went. Yeah.
Oh, man. You got fast fire pop culture, Odin?
Yeah, let's do it.
You don't even know. Do you know who this is?
Engaged.
I don't know who Rich Paul is.
You don't know who Rich Paul is? Come on, man.
Right,
you know everybody.
You
don't know who.
Lying.
You don't know who Rich Paul is?
No, am I supposed to know who that is?
Man.
Okay, so
he's one of LeBron's best friends, and he runs his agency.
Oh, is this his high school friend?
Yeah. This is his boy that runs the agency. What's it called? Fuck, I'm losing it.
So how did he meet Adele?
Not uninterrupted. It's what's it called, Odin? It starts.
Has she been going to Laker games in?
Yeah, she's been on courtside with him. Like, they've been dating for a long time.
Huh?
Yeah. Rich Paul Agency. What's it called? God, I'm gonna hate myself. Clutch Sports. That's right. I knew it started with a K.
So is LeBron James the only reason that he's got his career, basically?
No, bro. This guy, he puts in a lot of work. He signed some pretty big agents on his own, like free agents, and he's negotiated some really good big time contracts. They've kind of like, they're pioneers in this space. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's doing a damn good job.
Adele looks fantastic.
Yeah, I thought
she lost a lot of weight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Look at
always
those cheekbones and jawline.
We always have her on at the house when we're having dinner. It's either her or John Legend. Was that a bad thing?
Bro, you just couldn't do the world's greatest father routine.
Why is that?
I mean, just you.
I'm just saying.
Now it's the world's greatest husband.
What do you mean? No, it's. I mean, that's the kind of music we have playing when the kids are around.
When you're making.
What kind of music do you have playing for Carter?
We don't play music in my house, man.
Zero.
We don't do music.
Trap music. That's your thing.
Trap house only. We don't do music.
2 Chainz.
No,
yesterday was Robin Williams' 10-year.
I cannot believe 10 years, man.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is there anyone that passed away that you guys were just like, whoa, how the hell did this person pass away?
Yeah, Kobe.
The way Kobe died was like wild.
I was weeping, bro. I was legitimately weeping.
I was not weeping, but I was watching the television. I know exactly where I was at.
I think I was weeping at just because at the time I didn't know how it happened, and thinking like just knowing that he was with his daughter and just visualizing how that all could have gone down was rough. But Robin Williams, man, what's your favorite Robin Williams movie? You got to pick one. I know there's a lot. You don't got to go down. Just pick one.
There's so many. Like, it's not gonna be Mrs. Doubtfire. I'll just start with that.
It won't be Mrs. Doubtfire.
No. It's not gonna be Jumanji.
It's not gonna be
taking
Genie.
too long. Mine's Good Will Hunting.
Great. Good Will Hunting is good, but is that really
I don't
Robin
more of a
Williams?
serious role.
I don't
like
think
his serious role.
You like him being a serious guy more. I liked him as a comedian more.
Yeah, I did too. Although his stand-up comedy was nasty.
He was. I like him. Yeah.
I don't know. You could do some of his comedy anymore.
Yeah, underrated movie of his, The Birdcage.
Birdcage, fantastic movie.
Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. That might be my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up there too. I'll go with.
He played a fantastic character.
I'll go with Aladdin.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Tom Cruise's Olympics closing
Mr.
ceremony stunt
Olympics.
took over 1 year to plan. Here's how it came together.
I didn't even see this. What
You
is
didn't
this?
see it? It was horrible.
I didn't see it either.
It was horrible. It's not even worth watching. He just jumps off the side of the stadium, has a rope, and just going down really slowly, gets down, grabs a flag, hops on a motorcycle, drives out of the stadium. I don't know how long. I don't know how that took a year to plan.
Because he's going to do something when they open the ceremony, I'm assuming.
Anytime I see anybody do this, you know who I think of, Haroon?
Yeah.
Is Bret Hart's brother. What was his name? Owen Hart.
Yeah.
He did this at one of their WWF, WWE, whichever it was back then. One of their like major pay-per-view events. Came down from a cable, like cable snapped or something. Can you imagine? He died on the stage.
He died on the stage?
Died on the stage. And bro, he's like
wow.
Comes from like one of the biggest wrestling families of all time. Like he was like a big deal.
You mean came from? Past tense. I mean,
You gotta say it right.
He did die.
Chris,
Who's the villain, bro?
What is this?
Bro, this was arguably one of the best games I have ever watched.
I did not watch it. No, I told you I was boycotting the Olympics. I didn't watch any of it.
For Palestine?
No.
No. We're not taking a political stance.
Yeah, this is the higher standard, not the Starbucks standard. No, I didn't watch any Olympics. The only Olympics that I saw this year were the stuff that you guys showed me in the last episode, which got flagged by YouTube, by the way. Thank you, Haroon. So let's not play any clips.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't watch any of it. I saw that, Steph Curry hit some pivotal shots going down the stretch.
Not just pivotal shots, man. It was literally shot after shot after shot, like 4 in a row down the stretch when they needed it. It was a tight game.
Didn't LeBron get MVP?
Double team.
Oh yeah, he played great all the entire run. Right?
I got to be honest. I saw some clips of LeBron. He doesn't look like he can physically move like he used to.
No, bro, he shouldn't. He's 40 years old.
I get it. I'm just saying,
You know what?
He's also on the Olympic team. Like he knows,
he knows his role too. His role is to facilitate. That's his role.
So he's not gonna make the Olympics in 28, right?
No, he already said
he'll be 42, 44.
Bro, no, he'll be 44.
I'm just
he'll be retired by then.
You never know. It's in the
He's
US.
literally
get some BPC 157 from TRANSCEND. He'll be good to go.
Bro,
he'll be banned, but he'll be good to go.
I know you're not gonna like this. I heard this LeBron stat today.
I'm not ready to. I'm not.
Listen,
I will slap you.
Odin, this is crazy. I did not know this stat. This is wild. Okay, so we know that LeBron has scored the most points of all time, right? Whatever. Put that aside. Go back and look at how many points Jordan scored.
No, this is not real. So you know who put this news out?
What?
LeBron's can't put this out.
No.
Go ahead.
No, this is real. What do you what do you think I'm saying?
Who's LeBron's camp?
What's the camp? This is conspiratorial.
Yeah, is it, Clutch
you don't even know what I'm saying.
Yes.
You don't even know. You don't even know what I'm saying though.
Go ahead. Finish your statement.
Okay, so Jordan scored 32,000 points and some change.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when LeBron scored 32,000 points and some change, the exact same amount as Jordan did,
Mm-hmm.
he did it in 1,200 less shots.
Okay, so all of this data that's come out recently.
And mind you, the 3-point line was closer for Jordan than it was
Okay.
for LeBron.
I can't look at you because your erection is so visible.
Oh my God, bro, he's so much better.
No, stop.
He's so
All right.
much better.
So I know that LeBron wants to be considered the GOAT.
He is.
Okay. I know that people like you want him to be considered the GOAT. Somebody went back and looked at old videos of Michael Jordan playing
Mm-hmm.
and points and statistics that were attributed to him that should not have been came about.
Most notably, the year he won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes. And that came in the same story as the data that you just provided.
No. This is something different. Wow, completely different.
Hush.
Completely different.
Honey. Daddy's talking.
But these are factual. You can't even debate. These are
No,
statistics.
they are not statistics that are valuable.
Bro,
okay?
they went back.
This is manipulated information by Clutch Sports and Adele's new husband.
Wait, but let me ask you a question.
That's how you bring it back, Haroon.
It's
Rich Paul.
He's putting a nice little bow tie on it, right?
Yeah.
Look, if you can watch a game, which you don't want to go down the rabbit hole because you don't want to take your guy.
That's
off
not that
the
I want to
throne.
go down that rabbit hole. Is it the data is coming from the same source that benefits from it?
You don't know that.
Yeah, you do know that.
You don't know.
There's an article on this. I'll send it to you.
Okay, but here, let me ask you: if you go back and watch a game that says Jordan had 5 steals when he really had 2, that's
Okay.
not concerning for you?
No.
Come
Not
on.
in the slightest.
What do you mean?
Okay. Do you think LeBron's son is playing for the Lakers?
Wait. Why are we bringing up? We're not talking about.
We are. Why do you think LeBron's son's playing for the Lakers?
Christopher, nepotism is spread all throughout the NBA.
Why? Okay, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it.
He's not the first son to make the league
I'm not
because of
saying there's anything
LeBron.
wrong with it. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that is a real and likely probable consequence, right?
As it should be, yeah.
Okay.
He's earned that.
Do you think the league needs LeBron James?
Yes.
Okay, why?
What do you mean? Why? He's going to be part of future ownership.
Okay, but there's a ton of fantastic younger players right now.
What do you mean?
Who's the next LeBron?
He's literally the face of the NBA.
Anthony Edwards?
What? Who's the next LeBron?
Who's the next LeBron?
There isn't one.
The closest one would be Giannis,
Luka?
Luka. Yeah.
Maybe. But here's the thing. None of them had the expectation put on them at 18 years old. Not only did he meet it, he surpassed it.
Okay. So at some point in time, in the next 4 years, by your own supposition, LeBron is going to retire.
Yeah, probably 2 years.
Who is his successor?
It's a good question because by that time, guess what? Curry's going to be like 38, 39. So it can't even be Curry. KD will be too old. They're currently right now actively trying to look and try to find the next person. It looks like they're trying to position Anthony Edwards.
What about Wembanyama?
Could be, or Wembanyama, yes. But he's a rookie. It's a rookie. It's still early. But it looks like he could be.
Okay.
But here's the problem with that is, I think, and I do think there's a lot of stuff that gets done behind the scenes that they don't want a player from Europe being the face. They want it to be a USA guy.
Okay. So all of that being said, you don't think LeBron's spending more time now thinking about his legacy than ever before?
Yeah. To them, that's all. That's the only thing that's one of the things that shocks me the most, and that is the most impressive about all these guys, especially the great players that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. LeBron, obviously already a billionaire. The fact that he still has the drive, the only thing still driving him is his legacy. It's not money.
Okay.
It's nothing else.
So why bring up those stats comparing him to Jordan? Shouldn't his numbers be just enough in and of themselves?
If nobody's talking about the numbers and the numbers are what they are, then somebody, like, what do you mean? If
Hold
on.
LeBron's scoring
If
is
nobody-
past Jordan, right?
If nobody talks about how well you do at a company,
Nobody does.
okay, and you're saying that if no one's talking about it, you shouldn't showcase it?
No, because nobody cares.
No, what do you mean? You're not going to try to use it to leverage to get something
LeBron's
better?
salary is not dependent on him being better than Jordan.
No, it's not about money anymore.
Okay.
It's about
That's
legacy.
dangerous.
The fact.
When you're playing for legacy at this age,
What's so dangerous about
because he should be focusing on bringing up the next generation of talent,
That's-
not cementing his
Bro,
legacy.
hold
His
on.
legacy should speak for itself at this point in time.
Bro, it does because no one's even willing
Okay, then
to.
why attack Jordan
one-
having stats that are pumped up or not?
Because if that's what happened, that needs to be noted.
Okay, but that's irrelevant.
It is relevant.
You've
though.
already passed Jordan in scoring, even with those padded stats.
No, but it is relevant though. But
Why?
But what do you mean why? Because if it was fake, then you can't use those stats against him.
Those aren't fake, and no one's using those stats against him except for himself to placate his own ego.
I don't know.
He wants to be the greatest of all time.
Sounds like fake stats.
Okay, he wants to be the greatest of all time.
Mhm.
Let your numbers speak for themselves. Don't attack somebody else's legacy in order to create your own.
So here's my question to you. If you're saying let the numbers speak for themselves, then somebody needs to speak about the numbers.
Okay, but going back in time and trying to deconstruct something that happened, 20 years ago, okay, isn't going to make you a better player than you have represented yourself to be today.
I don't know, man.
It's not. And Jordan had that because he had a disproportionate control over the league that LeBron never commanded.
Right.
You know what the greatest part is? It's not 20 years ago. It's 30 years.
Is it 30? Jesus.
Yeah.
Yep. We old.
Yeah. And the most amazing part about LeBron's entire career and legacy is it's squeaky clean. No mistakes. His biggest mistake was he chose to leave Cleveland and go to Miami, and he raised $6 million, and he gave it to the Boys and Girls Club, and people still shit on him for
And
it.
he married his high school sweetheart, right?
And he married his high school sweetheart.
Yeah. And he had kids young?
And he's the second world's greatest dad.
Second world's greatest dad?
Whoa.
Well, Haroon, I don't really have much else to say other than that at this point.
I had to tie it together somehow, wrap up the show.
Is that what you tend to wrap it up?
Yeah.
By insulting Chris and I?
Yeah.
No, you guys are the best. I'm
Yeah.
I'm
So
not
now
gonna be here
you're
next week,
deconstructing our
Chris.
stats?
No, that's not me.
Yeah.
Hey, boss, I ain't going to be here next week.
No, we know that.
Yeah, we didn't expect you to be here this week.
we
So,
were shocked.
yeah. He's here? Wow.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Not coming with Saied.
Where are you going, though?
Nowhere. I just don't want to be here.
That makes sense.
No,
You're
he's
not the
go-
world's
no,
greatest father.
He's going to the Bay.
Oh, I'm bitter.
The Bay?
Yeah.
San
That's in
Francisco?
2 weeks. That's in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. He's going 2 weeks from now. Next week, he's not coming because you upset him so much.
I feel like I
To
haven't.
be clear.
I feel like I haven't. I feel like
You're the best dad.
He's
LeBron's
a
the
huge
second best
he's a
dad.
huge Jordan
We're,
fan.
We're nowhere.
he's not a huge Jordan fan.
He's a huge Jordan fan.
He's a huge Clipper fan.
Yeah. You see the video of Michael Jordan's
White,
son
blue,
doing
baby.
cocaine in Europe?
Yeah, man, that was bad.
Yeah. Out in the open. Just at brunch.
Yeah,
Lines of cocaine at brunch.
that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if you're taking that photo too, like leaking, like, what are you doing? You gonna say that's LeBron's camp too?
Of course it was.
Who's the
Watch
one
sports,
dating,
baby.
Who's the one dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife?
No,
That's
they
him.
broke up.
They broke up, but it was him.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was, yeah, it was
Oh,
him.
It was
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
And that was Jordan too. That's conniving on his part too. Like, remember Pippen was going around saying that Jordan wasn't the best.
You know, Pippen was the one who called Clutch Sports, right? Hey, Rich, those stats ain't real, bro.
Yeah, 100%. Go back and check it out.
That was
me.
my steal, homie.
It was me that got all those steals.
Yeah.
100%.
Go back and change those records.
Pip, dude. Pip stole 2 suits from my father-in-law. True story.
Stole?
Stole.
Like walked in and took?
No, because back in the day, so he provided a whole concierge service, right? Back in the day, my father-in-law had a suit store on Rodeo Drive. And so he had a lot of like high-end clientele, right? And part of it, a huge thing was providing that concierge service where you go to them, measure them, send them the suit, and then they would always pay. Sure enough, he got the 2 suits and never paid. Hit him up routinely, never paid. And this is like Italian stuff, dude. It was like really expensive.
Just ignored him?
Just ignored him, flat out ignored him.
Well, I would like to think that karma got him a little bit.
Karma to get him a little.
Yeah. Somebody stole something from him, too.
Oh,
Let's end it there.
well done. Do you got anything? Nope. All right, good night, everybody.
Bye.